This is the Lu-Tek training featuring Somfy and Loxone. My name is Tom Harkness. I'm the training manager for Somfy North America. And today I'll be taking you through the proper integration of Somfy motors into a Loxone system. Somfy is the world's leading manufacturer for motors and electronic controls for interior and exterior window coverings. We're in over 60 countries. We have almost 9,000 employees and hold over 2,000 patents. Somfy has the production capacity to manufacture 20 million motors per year and have over 270 million users worldwide. When it comes to North America, Somfy has 4 locations within North America. Our corporate North American headquarters is located in Dayton, New Jersey. We have distribution facilities in Mississauga, Canada, which is Toronto, in Boynton Beach, Florida, on the east coast of Florida, and in Southern California in Irvine, California. These distribution facilities allow us to cut down on shipping costs as well as shipping time. We have over 150 employees in North America. We have 4 training centers, and our customer service center is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Somfy's leading smart management solutions for homes and buildings have been improving people's daily lives for over 50 years. Developed with comfort, ease of use, security, and sustainability in mind, our innovations automate and connect rolling shutters, curtains and blinds, awnings, exterior screens, pergolas, and more. We are committed to creating useful solutions that are accessible to all, designed for today and beyond.
Here in Denver, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High meets breathtaking views.
What I love about this building in particular, the architect really brought a whole different facade to the face of Denver.
This fortress of altitude utilizes its multifaceted facade to reflect the beauty of its surroundings, allowing sunlight to flow freely from one side to the other. But sometimes there is such a thing as too much light.
So the upper atrium has a variety of shapes to the facade and the curtain wall. That is a challenge from a window covering standpoint. It really requires unique technology, which is where Lu-Tek really comes in as a partner.
Well, your biggest concern when you come in a space like this is actually the price to put in some shades, to protect your employees, to protect them to be able to look at a computer screen. As we all know, they're looking for maximum productivity. So if somebody cannot read their screen, they have to have a shade.
When new tenants move into this building and they want to turn their manual shades into motorized ones, Lu-Tek has some bright ideas.
In the past, when you had to retrofit or do anything, you had to take everything down. And you had to make this motor fit into either a larger system, a larger tube, a larger extrusion, a larger valance. With our system, we've made it really easy. You basically take a manual shade, pop out a clutch, put in a motor, run power to it.
Lu-Tek retrofits the existing shades to become motorized by utilizing Somfy software.
So this is the Somfy Anemeo interface. And what we do here is we put the floor plan of the building in there with the latitude and longitude of the building as well as the orientation. With that, we can write rules so that shades operate on their own autonomously with real-time weather. As you can see on the interface, I've got the opportunity to go to different shades in the floor plan as well as operate them. It gives me the ability to override the system should I want more or less light in the room. I can also use a smartphone if I'm in a different office or conference room to do that.
Lu-Tek may be one of today's leaders in shade motorization and automation, but this window covering empire came from humble beginnings. Mary Lou Ralston is the founder of Lu-Tek.
Lu-Tek's been around since 1968. I was pregnant with my second child and thought, okay, work is over at the telephone company, so I have to come up with something new, and I was a seamstress. So when word got out that I was actually fabricating draperies, then I had lots of new friends, and all the relatives and everybody wanted a little something, and it was anything that had anything to do with the window covering, draperies or throw pillows, shades and those kind of things. So it just quickly started growing into something that I needed more space for. As they say, the rest is history.
Lu-Tek prides itself in the customization and professionalism of its staff. Let's take a look at how a custom shade is made.
Here we are at Lu-Tek scheduling. We roll in here, the jobs come in, they get scheduled, and then they feed through the rest of the manufacturing warehouse. So what's happening right now is Christy, our trusty table cutter, and she'll be maneuvering the fabric left to right to make the final cuts. After the fabric gets cut, it comes over here to have spline put on it. We sew our spline here at Lu-Tek because we come from sewing, so it's easier for us and the installation team as well. Step number 3 is welding.
In order to keep up with the demand of this booming city and beyond, Lu-Tek is building its new world headquarters a few miles away.
This is new world headquarters for Lu-Tek Incorporated, and here is an overlooking view of all of the manufacturing and assembly of Lu-Tek. This will all be open windows so we can watch the product coming off the line, and you can watch your job as it gets manufactured. It's pretty exciting.
And you can bet that the views from these windows will only get the best treatments too.
What I love about Lu-Tek is their ability to think big, go far, and really bring the execution expertise so that it installs with perfection.
Lu-Tek is the ultimate in motorization and automation with whole building control software.
For more information, go to lutek.com or visit us anytime at insidetheblueprint.com.
That's a wrap! Hey.
Hi, my name's Tarun from the Loxone team, and today we're in Austria at the Loxone showhome. It's purpose-built to be able to demonstrate exactly what life is like living in a real smart home. The first aspect we look at is access control. Here's the NFC code touch. It allows me to gain access to the home using a PIN code or an NFC encrypted fob, which conveniently just hangs on my keyring. The other aspect of access control that we can have a look at is the intercom. Perfectly convenient for when visitors are expected or perhaps a delivery. Anyone who comes to the front door will be able to press the doorbell button, and thanks to the video and the two-way audio communication, I can see and speak to whoever's at the door on my smartphone from wherever I am, and if needs be, even let them in. So let's take a look inside. Now that we're inside the showhome, the first room that I want to show you is the kitchen, dining, living area. It's often the heart of the home for the family, and in this showhome it's a great space to be able to show you how your home could save up to 50,000 tasks for you each year, so you can have time to enjoy the more important things in life. The lighting, for example, is automated. It'll turn on or off, and that could be based on the amount of natural light that may already be filling the room. The shading is automated for us, so the blinds could open or close or adjust position based on the position of the sun. And it's always at the right temperature as well, because the room climate is adjusted using the heating, the ventilation, the cooling, and that's all intelligently automated without me having to adjust the thermostat, for example. And that means that a real smart home is something that the whole family can enjoy, but it's more important for the whole family to also be able to interact with that home and adjust things if need be. So that's why we've developed quite an intuitive control concept for a smart home. For us, we call it the switch standard, and it's really easy for me to be able to demonstrate here on the Touch Pure, and in fact on any of the touch switches around the smart home, just what that switch standard is. There's 5 touch points on here. Center touch point would control my lighting. I'd be able to open or close the blinds, or turn the volume on the music up, or turn the volume down. And from this same switch, I'll also be able to adjust the source of my multi-room audio, or even turn the music off. Another aspect of a real smart home that's important to discuss is the lighting. It can be adjusted according to how you and your family use your home. And in this show home, we can create different atmospheres. So in the kitchen, for example, we could have bright white lights over the island whilst we're cooking or preparing food. In the evenings, when we're entertaining, a more relaxed atmosphere can be created. And for later at night, when you're in the living room, a more cozy atmosphere can be created with the lighting. It's possible to be able to completely change the look and feel of a room because of the light source that you use. And we recommend different lighting sources to be able to complement the requirement for ambient and accent and task lighting. So this could be color changing LED spots, for example, LED strip, and for a wow factor, a cluster of pendulum slims. Now alongside the lighting is multi-room audio. So in this room, we've got 4 inbuilt speakers to be able to deliver that. It's more than just being able to listen to different music in different rooms. The music system here supports integration with the doorbell and with a burglar alarm, for example. It also has text-to-speech, so in essence, you could get your smart home to even talk to you. Another really exciting thing that I can demonstrate in this show home is the touch surface. It follows that same intuitive way of interacting with a real smart home. 5 touch points to be able to control the lighting, the shading, and the music. It can be installed beneath or behind surfaces such as stone, behind wood, glass, or ceramic. And what's really cool, because it's completely integrated into the surface, I could use it when I'm preparing food, for example, or I've just washed my hands and my hands are still wet, no problem interacting with the touch surface. Next up, let's head to one of the bedrooms. So here in the bedroom, again, we can see those aspects that make up a real smart home. So the lighting, the shading, and the room climate are all intelligently automated without me having to do a thing. And it all speaks to that idea of your smart home saving up to 50,000 tasks for you each year so that you've got time to enjoy the more important things in life. Here in the bedroom, just next to the bed, once again, we find a touch pure, and it follows that same intuitive control concept with the 5 touch points. What's pretty neat about the touch pure next to the bed though is something called night mode. And this is activated with a triple tap on the center touch point. This is really neat when it comes to the fact that I'm going to bed and perhaps some of the lights are still on in another room or music is playing in another room. Once I triple tap that center touch point, the lighting and the music in the rest of the house is turned off, the burglar alarm is activated, and I'm ready to go to bed. If, for example, I get up in the middle of the night, perhaps I want to head to the kitchen for a midnight snack, because my house is in night mode, bright lights don't turn on, which would dazzle me or be too bright and disturb someone else that's sleeping in the house. Instead, dim light turns on, just enough to light my path to the fridge and back. Then when it's time for me to wake up in the morning, I do so naturally with the help of this smart home. The blinds open up to let in a bit of the morning sun, lights slowly start to come up to full brightness, and my morning playlist starts to play as well, all contributing to a pretty good start to the day. It's all this functionality and more that makes up a real smart home. One more important feature worth mentioning is safety and security, for that extra peace of mind for you and your family. So this includes smoke sensors, a burglar alarm, and sensors to detect escape of water. Now, when your home detects one of these dangers, it starts to react immediately. So the lights begin to flash, the blinds open to make the home more transparent, an alarm tone starts to play throughout the multi-room audio, and you'll get a notification on your mobile phone to alert you. If you want to find out more about integrating this level of intelligent automation in your home, come and see us. We have free info sessions, or you could book a one-to-one consultation with one of the team. And you can find the details for those at loxone.com. Thanks for joining us today. Goodbye.
We'll now start off our Somfy integration with Loxone, and we'll start with standard motors. Standard motors are more simplistic in technology, and we'll work our way up to more advanced systems as we go along. But Somfy manufactures standard motors in all types of varieties, and we're really key on the AC powered ones. The AC powered ones offer lifting capacities anywhere between 4 Newton meters all the way up to 50 Newton meters and beyond. So if you have a really heavy fabric that you have to lift, or a shutter that you have to lift, Somfy manufactures motors that could lift quite a bit. Anything from, like I said, a 4 Newton meter lifting capacity all the way even up into the hundreds. The simplified connection between the switch or the controlling device and the motor itself, typically a 3-wire power cable similar to that of a ceiling fan that you would find in a normal home. All power and communication is done over that power cable. The motor does have mechanical limits. It's not necessarily encoder based, but it has mechanical limits. That's what the white and the yellow buttons on the motor head are for, is to manage the positioning of the end limits. And maintenance free. The motor is always going to be powered. It's always going to be controlled over that wire, so you don't have to worry about recharging batteries or anything else like that, or even changing batteries for that matter. Everything is always going to be wired. Standard motors going into a Loxone relay will be done with either a Nano 2 relay or the Shade Actuator Air. These are 1-to-1 configurations, so you will need 1 Nano 2 relay per standard motor, or 1 shading actuator air per standard motor. These are great because the controls can be mounted at the motor location, reducing the amount of electrical wiring that needs to be done in the house. These are great for retrofit applications or even new constructions. If you have the if you have room at the motor or the window location to mount these individual controls. If you have multiple motors that you need to control, you can look at either the relay extension or the mini server. These will handle multiple motors, right, for individual group controlling. Wiring is typically done in a remote location. You don't want to typically put these relay extensions and the mini servers at the shade or the window locations, so these will be more toward installing in an IDF or a control closet somewhere. With all of these relays, you need 2 relays for control per motor, right? 1 for up, 1 for down. These will also be great for retrofit or new construction projects as well. Shifting from standard motors and going to more of a digital solution with our Somfy Digital Network, or SDN, as it's more commonly referred to in the industry. SDN is a platform comprised of intelligent motors and controls. These intelligent motors and controls are built utilizing busline technology. This busline technology allows for a more scalable solution to utilize the same components no matter the size of the job. Some features for the Somfy Digital Network is it's hardwired, right? There's no risk of radio interference. It's very reliable. 16 intermediate positions, multi-point stops between the upper and lower limit that can be preset. 2-way communication. We have percentage positions that we can set to and also report back. We're scalable, anything from 1 motor to 1,000 motors, and all points in between, and in advance of 1,000 motors we can handle on the Somfy Digital Network. It's typically less money in wiring when you look at standard motors versus a more digital solution, and we also have an unlimited number of controls. The most basic way that we can integrate Loxone into the Somfy Digital Network is utilizing dry contact. So whether you're using the relay extension, the Nano 2 relay, the mini server, all of these have available dry contact outputs. We're looking for normally open contact closures. There are 8 contacts to provide control over each button. So each one of these dry contacts, button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, represent the buttons on the front of the keypad. So what they'll do is they'll mimic that through dry contact. So if you have a down program to button 7, if you send a dry contact signal to button 7, you will send the down command to the motor or the groups of motor that you have programmed to the keypad. It's a basic level of integration, right? Action is determined by keypad programming, and only 1 relay is required per button contact. For a deeper integration into the Somfy Digital Network, you can utilize RS-485 communication. And this is a direct RS-485 communication between the Loxone system and the Somfy digital network utilizing the RS-485 extension module. So again, this is direct RS-485 control. Unfortunately, there are no templates that are created, so programmers can enter custom command strings via the Somfy command string calculator that's located on somfypro.com. Another software that you will need is the motor configuration software. And this is to program groups into the motors, to set intermediate positions, set and adjust limits. There's a number of different things that you can utilize the motor configuration software. This will require a USB to RS-485 converter. This will allow your PC to communicate direct RS-485 to the Somfy digital network. If you are going to sell more Somfy motors and utilize the Somfy digital network, having a USB to RS-485 converter would always be a great tool to have in your programmer's tool bag. And lastly, the technology that we'll talk about is Radio Technology Somfy, or RTS. This is Somfy's proprietary RF. RTS is omnidirectional, which means it goes in all points in all directions, but it is one way. So you're not going to get feedback from the motor utilizing an RTS motor. We do have reliable range at 23 feet. We offer one intermediate position, the my favorite position. Motors can be controlled by up to 12 channels of RTS. This allows us to mix and match controls through handheld remotes, wall switches, timers, etc. Integration is done through either IR, dry contact, serial, or Wi-Fi. All Somfy motors have an RTS version. This is great for retrofit installations. Ultra quiet motors are available. Interior, exterior motor options, anything from roller shades, blinds, awning screens, shutters, you name it. Somfy manufactures a motor that has an RTS version in it. Starting out, the simplest form of integration is through dry contact. So you'll need this dry contact interface from Somfy, which is the RTS dry contact interface, single channel. You need at least two dry contact outputs, either two from the relay extension module, the mini server, or the Nano 2 relay. And you want your contact closures to be anywhere from a half second to 1 second of closures. You don't want anything less, don't really want anything more. They should be normally open contact closure ports. One thing to make note of is this dry contact interface that Somfy manufactures is a battery operated device. So at some point the batteries will die and they will need to be replaced. These are the same batteries that you would replace on a Somfy remote control. You can also integrate Somfy RTS into a Loxone system with serial connectivity, and that will require a universal RTS interface, or an ERTC, as we refer to it. The ERTC can support either RS-232 or RS-485. Again, there is no template created for the ERTC, so you would have to utilize the instructions that come with the ERTC and generate your custom ASCII strings. But it does support RS-232 and RS-485 serial communications. It is a 16-channel device, and it has up, stop, and down and programming buttons in the front. When utilizing RS-232, you can have one on the RS-232 line. When utilizing RS-485, you can control up to 16 ERTCs together for up to 256 channels of RTS in any one system. You can cascade up to 16 ERTCs with Cat5e or higher, and you can power up to 16 ERTCs with one power supply. If you need to go further distance or you need more power, an alternative power supply should be supplied by an outside vendor. And lastly, we'll talk about the Somfy MyLink. Now, the Somfy MyLink is a Wi-Fi to RTS bridge, so a mini server on the network will be required. So the communication between the mini server and the MyLink will be done over Ethernet. The MyLink can support up to 16 channels of RTS per MyLink, and you can have up to 10 MyLinks in any one system. These are zone or room controlling devices. You shouldn't think that you can put one on each floor and you're going to get both floors. Anywhere you have a room of RTS motors, a MyLink should be included in your specification as well. You can manually activate RTS products, automate window coverings with scenes and time schedules, supports up, down, stop, and incremental control between tilt or brightening with some of our exterior lighting modules. You can have multiple users with remote access. It's compatible with our Somfy Synergy API, which is all part of the template that was created and that is available through the Loxone software. I would like to thank everybody for joining us today. I would like to a special thank you to Lu-Tek and to all the guys over at Loxone who provided their information. It was greatly appreciated in order to make this training presentation a success. Don't forget to like us on all of our social medias, and don't forget to check out us at somfypro.com for all your technical needs. Take care.